The memory of my parents' hands on me isn't a memory at all, it's a brand on my nervous system that fires every time my daughter cries. They told me I was sick, that I needed sedation, while my 5-week-old baby screamed between us, her tiny fists flailing as they pulled her from my arms. How do you forgive people who used your child as a weapon to prove you were broken? I should have known when my mother called my daughter her little sister that something was deeply, irreparably wrong. She'd come to help for 2 weeks postpartum, but help meant taking over feeding, changing, holding while I was relegated to the sidelines, a pale observer in my own home. She'd coo at the baby and say hi to your sister, Jessica, with a smile that never reached her eyes. I laughed it off then, because I was exhausted, because my stitches still pulled when I walked, because I didn't have the energy to fight my mother's narrative. But I remember the way my husband's jaw tightened when he heard it. He wanted to say something, but I shook my head. It was just 2 weeks. Then 5 weeks later, he had to attend a funeral 3 states away. His uncle, the one who taught him to fish, and I thought I could handle 2 days alone with them. I thought they were my parents. I thought I was safe. The first night was tense but quiet. My father watched television too loud while my mother nitpicked how I swaddled the baby. "She'll get cold," she'd say, reaching to adjust, her fingers brushing mine like an accusation. I held on. I kept holding on. The second day, the baby started crying at dusk, that thin, reedy wail that means gas or hunger or simply being 5 weeks old and overwhelmed by existence. I was in the living room, cradling her against my chest, bouncing gently, doing the shushing rhythm that always worked. My mother appeared in the doorway. "Give her to me, you're too tense," she said. I said no. I said she was fine, she was calming down, I had her. My father materialized behind my mother like a shadow given weight. "Jessica, you're not thinking straight," he said, and his voice had that edge I remembered from childhood, the one that came before my bedroom door splintered. They moved as a unit. My mother grabbed my left wrist. My father pinned my right shoulder to the back of the couch. I felt the fabric of the cushions beneath my spine, the springs digging in. My arms were locked, I couldn't pull away, couldn't curl around my baby. The baby was crying harder now, sensing something wrong, her face red and crumpled. My mother's fingernails dug into my forearm as she pried my fingers open, one by one, like she was dismantling a trap. My father shoved my shoulder back each time I tried to sit up, his palm flat against my collarbone, pushing. They took her. They ripped my daughter from my chest like she was a doll I'd stolen. My mother held her away from me, swaying, while I screamed. I don't recognize the sound I'm at. It came from somewhere deeper than my throat, something primal and feral. My father pushed me again, hard, and I hit the armrest. "You're not well." My mother shrieked over the baby's wails. "Look at you. You're hysterical, you need to be sedated." She was shaking her head, her lips thin with disgust, like I'd failed a test I didn't know I was taking. My father stood over me, breathing hard, his fists clenched. I tried to get up, he shoved me back. Over and over, each push a punctuation mark on my helplessness. I remember the ceiling fan spinning above me, the blades cutting through the light, and I remember thinking, this is how I die, on my parents' couch while my baby screams in someone else's arms. I found my voice again. "I'm calling the police," I said, and it came out hoarse, broken, but clear enough. My mother froze. The baby was still crying. My mother looked at my father, and something passed between them, calculation, not remorse. She thrust the baby back into my arms so roughly that my daughter's head snapped forward. I caught her, cradled her, pressed her against my heart. My mother turned away, her shoulders shaking with what I later realized was not sobbing but fury. "Fine," she spat. "Fine. See if we ever help you again." I locked myself in the guest room that night. I wedged a chair under the doorknob. I didn't sleep. I held my baby and watched the crack of light beneath the door, waiting for them to try the handle. They didn't. They knocked once, softly, and said my name like a question I didn't have to answer. I stayed barricaded until my husband arrived the next day. I didn't tell him everything, not yet. Not until I was in his car, not until we were on the highway and he saw my wrists, the crescent moons of my mother's nails still printed in my skin. Then I told him. He pulled over and threw up on the shoulder of the road. That was the moment I knew I'd never go back. I blocked them, every platform, every number. I became a ghost to them, and they became a wound I wouldn't let myself touch. But my father found a way, called my husband's workplace, his direct line, because he knew it would embarrass him, knew it would force a conversation. My husband came home with red ears and a clenched jaw and said he called me at 9 a.m. in front of my boss. He said he just wanted to check on his daughter. My husband confronted them. He drove there without me, sat in their living room, and demanded a genuine apology, a recognition of what they'd done. My mother refused. She said the subject was closed. She said I'd overreacted. She said they were helping. Then she started sending cat videos, links to funny reels, photos of their garden, like we'd had a minor disagreement about dinner, like she hadn't pinned me to a couch and ripped my infant from my arms while her husband pushed me into the cushions like I was nothing. That was 3 months ago. I still have nightmares. I still flinch when someone touches my shoulder, but my daughter is healthy. She smiles now, and I hold her every day without apology, without permission, without anyone's hands on her but mine. My mother still sends reels. My father leaves voicemails asking about the weather. And every time I see their name on my blocked list, I feel the couch springs under my back, the weight of my father's hand on my collarbone, the sound of my own screaming. And I ask myself, do they deserve to know her? Do they deserve me? Or did they lose that right the moment they decided violence was an acceptable answer to my refusal?
Your parents' behavior is not a spontaneous loss of control. It is a calculated assertion of dominance disguised as concern. The physical pinning, the forcible removal of your infant, and your mother's declaration that you are abnormal and need sedation are classic maneuvers of coercive control. They redefine your legitimate refusal as pathology, thereby invalidating your autonomy. Your father's use of physical force and your mother's subsequent performance of returning the baby only after you threaten police reveal a transaction. They see the child as an extension of their authority, not as a being entrusted to you. Their refusal to apologize, coupled with trivial cat videos and workplace calls, is not clumsiness, it is a systematic erasure of your reality. They are attempting to re-establish contact on their terms, bypassing your trauma to avoid accountability. Your decision to sever contact is not punishment, it is self-preservation. You are not abnormal, you are accurately perceiving a threat to your maternal bond and your psychological safety.